I want to put out the images right now that explain to you what's happened in the last few weeks. Multiple images that we're showing you on your screens of how desperate Amritpal Singh was to get away from the cops. All that he did, changed vehicles repeatedly, moved from one location to another, changed his appearance repeatedly, as you see in the 10 images on your screens. And the final one there from Moga is from this morning, where he had no choice but to go ahead and surrender. So to any of you who wonder, why is it that Amritpal Singh got to dictate terms and conditions? If he could dictate terms and conditions, he wouldn't be surrendering today. He would be in hiding. He would be continuing the antics that he resorted to for the last few weeks, refusing to cooperate with the police, running from one location to another with aides helping him, with hiding him, him moving from one area to another. None of that is happening today because of the consistent pressure from authorities on him. So the run for Amritpal Singh has ended now. Multiple locations that he travelled to. He went from Jalandhar, which is where you saw an all-out police chase, to another location in Punjab. From there he went to Kurukshetra. From there reportedly was spotted in Delhi. Then there was talk that he's actually made it to Nepal. That clearly didn't happen. He's come back to Punjab, and then in Moga at the Rode village he has now surrendered. He's been taken into custody, is being taken as we speak to the Dibrugarh jail in Assam. So this is a successful operation by the Punjab police, and all of the times that Amritpal Singh tried so hard to evade the cops, it's culminated in him appearing now before the cops. So there can no way be any sort of win right now for Amritpal Singh. He's going to be facing the law. He's been forced to, in fact, bend down before the law and surrender. So at this point, his supporters, many of whom are already in custody, most of his aides who helped him have also been taken in, have been arrested. But this is an operation, Kamaljeet, in which the Punjab government, of course, was closely monitoring and supervising what the cops were doing. The MHA was also actively involved in helping the Punjab police really with any sort of intel info or any alerts on Amritpal. Apologies, we've lost the connection with Kamaljeet. We'll reconnect with her in just a bit. In the meanwhile, I want to play out for you what Amit Shah said yesterday. We hosted him at the Karnataka roundtable. We asked him about Amritpal Singh, because yesterday in the morning there were still questions about where Amritpal Singh is, whether it's been a failure by the Punjab police. Amit Shah categorically said that he believed the Punjab police was doing an excellent job, and this is why. This was their strategy all along, to get Amritpal Singh to surrender by nabbing all of his aides. Let's play out for you that excerpt.
आप होम मिनिस्टर भी हैं। पंजाब में अचानक से हम ये एक लहर नहीं देख रहे हैं खालिस्तान की। अमृतपाल सिंह इतने दिन से
ऐसा है भाई, कोई लहर बहर नहीं है। कई बार कुछ लोग प्रयास करते हैं, सरकार अपना काम करती है। पंजाब सरकार ने अच्छा काम किया, भारत सरकार ने समर्थन किया है, कुछ नहीं है। ये इसको हम बड़ी बारीकी से देख रहे हैं और किसी को रियायत नहीं है कि देश की एकता और अखंडता के साथ खिलवाड़ कर पाए।
पर यह अजीब सी बात नहीं है कि अमृतपाल सिंह अभी तक पकड़ा ना जाए?
कई बार होता है, मगर जिस प्रकार से वो घूम रहे थे, आज वो अपनी गतिविधि नहीं कर सकते।
So that was a comment from the Home Minister when he said very clearly that the Punjab police is doing a good job. Kamaljeet is back with us. Kamaljeet, I was asking you earlier about how in the last 1 month we've seen the Punjab government, of course, very closely working with the cops in any way they can to help them and aid them in nabbing Amritpal. The MHA also was very, very closely involved.
Well, absolutely. You would remember a month ago, it was Bhagwant Mann who had a meeting with Union Home Minister at his residence in Delhi, and this is where the planning was taking place. The DGP had accompanied the Chief Minister. What was important and significant was that there was a plan which was laid out subsequently, and remember the Central Armed Police Force, which we usually call as the paramilitary, at least several of the teams were deployed in Punjab. This was also in the wake of G20, but they remained put, and this is where they were deployed in Amritsar, in Ajnala, even in Jalukheda, which is the hometown of Amritpal. So this was the planning which had taken place, but what was not part of the plan was the escape route which Amritpal eventually took. Because remember, when Jalandhar and remember the CP as well as the DIG, when they closed in on Amritpal, he managed to give them a slip, running away into the fields, and this is where there was a significant loss of face. They immediately did arrest several of his people, and this eventually happened on 18th of March. But again, when they conducted search operations, there were obviously visuals coming in that he had managed to give them a slip and managed to go to Kurukshetra. That's in the next 24 hours, he had actually managed to flee, and by the time Punjab police was closing in on him, he had moved locations. So he moved several locations from Kurukshetra to Delhi to Pilibhit. So he was looking for support, but eventually he was running out of option. And even Punjab police was saying earlier to us that, you know, the surrender could have come much earlier. But again, on the 28th, when he was about to surrender in Akal Takht, that is where the police had actually put nakas. They had put a solid deployment to ensure that Amritpal doesn't have his way. And even now, the sort of surrender we've been told is something which have been arranged. So perhaps a word going in, and this is the time and time again they kept reiterating that Amritpal needs to surrender before the law of the land. Eventually something which he has done. So there was a lot of pressure which was put on him. There were raids simultaneously which were conducted across the state and even in other states as well. So this was a very wide operation called the Operation Amritpal, eventually paying dividends with arrest of Amritpal today early in the morning after he had surrendered. He gave a small sermon, but remember, there's a lengthy question answer he will have to go through. There will be a joint interrogation, but taken away to Dibrugarh, and then thereafter there would be subsequent interrogation which will be done. But this has been a painstaking job, and remember, there's not a single bullet which has been fired. Many would be critical of how the operation has gone on for too long, but remember, it's the success of the operation towards the end of it all. Not a bullet has been fired. There was a very clear instruction coming in. If there's a sense of a deja vu, if you could remember the rise of Bhinderwala, it was only in his death when he was killed in Operation Blue Star. That is when he garnered more support, and this is where they didn't want a sort of a second Bhinderwala, and that is where there was a tactical thinking and deployment to ensure that there would be no use of excess force, and this is where they were also reiterating that Amritpal needs to surrender. Eventually he has done that, and again, let's just talk about how the operation has gone on for 1 month, 1 week, but now it has paid dividend. The Punjab police now needs to keep a lookout on law and order. Punjab has largely been peaceful over a month or so, but let me also tell you, if there is a minuscule support which has come in, that's about it. Meanwhile, the operation is definitely successful with Amritpal being in the net of Punjab.
Kamalji, just stay with me. I want to play out now a reaction coming in from the Bathinda police. This is the SSP speaking to us.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਲਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ
ਅੱਛਾ ਸਰ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ
ਐਸਐਸਪੀ
ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਡਿਬਰੂਗੜ੍ਹ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਛੱਡਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਬਰੀਫਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈਡਕੁਆਟਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ
ਜੀ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ
ਜੀ
ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ
ਵੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਲਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ
ਅੱਛਾ ਸਰ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ
So a very brief reaction coming in from the SSP. You can see that his vehicle was a part of, in fact, a convoy that was transporting Amritpal from Moga to the Bathinda airport.